We're spreading it out and more of it will be online. We want to keep people safe. That's been our priority this year, our associates safe, our customers safe. One way to do that is to move more of the items to online only, but we will have some in stores as well. And hopefully we do a good job of communicating to customers what's what.
All right, let's talk about Prime Day. Amazon says third-party sellers pocketed more than $3.5 billion on this year's Prime Day shopping event, which ran on Tuesday and Wednesday. That's nearly 60% higher than last year. Now, Amazon usually holds the event in July, but it pushed it back to October because of the coronavirus pandemic. That made it an even bigger deal for the retail sector. Prime Day basically kicked off the holiday shopping season for 2020 in October. Other major retailers like Walmart and Target also kicked off sales this month. Now, Amazon hasn't released total Prime Day sales numbers yet. We just have the numbers for third-party sellers and specific devices so far. We know that the Echo Dot, for example, was Prime Day's most popular product this year. eMarketer forecasts that the retail giant could bring in $10 billion in sales in 2020 from Prime Day alone. We spoke with eMarketer's Andrew Lipsman to break it all down.
It's interesting that Amazon is revealing more information about sales and growth. This is, of course, a subset, and they're really promoting how small and medium-sized businesses are doing. The more interesting number in some ways is the 60% growth rate behind those small and medium-sized businesses. That suggests overall that this was going to be a pretty strong growth rate. Now, we were expecting about 43% growth overall to just under $10 billion in sales. And from what they've revealed, it seems very much in line with what's possible. The biggest differences this year begin with the time. So it's in mid-October this year when it's previously been in mid-July. Usually it's for summer purchases during a sleepy time of year for e-commerce and retail. That kind of is an early lead into back to school season. This year, it becomes the early lead into the holiday season. One thing that was interesting about the Prime Day promotion is that over the last few years, big box retailers have really counter-programmed against it. But in the past, they were able to prepare for that mid-July time period. This year, they were kind of in the dark and had to kind of scramble to align their promotions because Amazon announced Prime Day so late. But they do have a big advantage coming into the holiday season, which is that they are all really mavens at click and collect. And especially with so many holiday buyers increasingly uncertain about getting gifts in time for the holiday, you're probably going to see a big shift in activity, especially after about December 14th, towards click and collect activity. And Amazon just can't match the big box retailers on that dimension. This will be my 15th year forecasting holiday e-commerce. And typically there's kind of a limited set of variables that determine how healthy the season is going to be. The most unpredictable season I ever saw was in 2008, in the heat of the financial crisis. Consumer demand dropped off really fast in September and October, which made the season hard to predict. This year, you have both the demand vector, because we're in a recessionary environment, but you also have varying demand across categories. So some categories like consumer electronics, for example, because of the pandemic, there have been all these new need states, whether it's work from home, back to school and needing tablets and Chromebooks. And the second big vector, people are moving back and forth between online and in-store, and then also in-store pickup as well. So you have these two vectors that really are determinative for the forecast. So it makes predicting, I think, extra difficult this year. And that's what every retailer really needs to determine at this point in time, is kind of where they sit with respect to those vectors.